on that one. So, welcome back. As I was saying, the Wrath suit is good if you have it on your whole team. And when we do the 4-man legendary run, which I promised you, where we don't buy squad side upgrades, we just play simple legendary Ironman difficulty with only 4 guys, then I'm thinking about just taking 4 Wrath suits because they are all around pretty useful. And I like them. Yep, that's the whole story. So let's take a look here. These fields are not to be seen by them. So I think if Arnop here could take a little grappling hook. Yep. And take the position of one of these fields. For instance here. That shouldn't trigger them. As so often with things that shouldn't happen, other pots are being triggered. So yeah, not optimal. But you know what? We still can live with that. I'm just thinking about what would be a potentially good engagement zone. Like this here looks pretty neat, and it's probably not triggering the rest of them. So let's go for one-dimensional rift here. We just need to make sure that all of them are going to die. In this turn, and that's about it. Archons are starting their battle frenzy, but I'm not afraid about the battle frenzy, not at all. Instead, let's think about how we can position our remaining void rifts here. This here would be probably one of the better ones. We could go for stasis before doing so, but I don't think that it is necessary to stasis anyone here. Let's just kill these guys with the Void Rift, and that should be okay. Yeah, initial damage pretty much wrecked them. Let's hope he's not going to be mind controlled, because if he's mind controlled, then we're pulling the other pack on top of it. And of course he's mind controlled. Like, what the fuck? Why wouldn't he? So our whole let's hide and let's not pull another pack just got complete. Wow. 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 How is this even possible? Okay, now we do have a problem. So far, everything was ponies and sunshine, but now we do have an issue, that's for sure. Can't believe that we just triggered the other pack by a random proc. Okay, so let's constantly think that through. We do have stasis. Not worth using it on this one mutant. We would have domination as an ability, and if we dominate something, I would want to dominate one of the gatekeepers, that's for sure. Unfortunately, in none of these positions, the gatekeeper... Oh, yeah, here here we would have visibility on one of the gatekeepers, here until here. Let's not cluster up too much. Let's position ourselves here. And we're now going to use our domination ability for one of the gatekeepers. Come on, 89%. That should be enough to dominate him. Very good. Thank you so much. Gatekeeper number 1 dominated. I'm thinking about how to deal with the rest, to be honest, because the second pack was not expected. We could use one grenade here. And probably that's the right decision. Just don't want to stand in a position where we are not having sufficient cover. So we're going to run and gun with him. It's one of the cooldowns that we'll just get back in a couple of turns. So yeah, full cover for him. Question is, do I want to damage the other gatekeeper? And probably I do not want to do that. I would want to damage most of these guys here so we can clean them up. So yeah, let's use this and just accept that the one gatekeeper will roam more or less freely for one round. We don't have enough actions to contain him. Saiken, there's eventually going to be a DLC that will introduce the 6th class. What would you like to see? And do you think that it will be something like Enemy Within? Small G, I'm going to answer that after the round. Let's just keep the pace of this round. It's a very good question, but it will take a little bit longer to answer. So we don't want to stick too long with our cover here, with our concealment, because we won't need it after this turn, which effectively means Ancestral will now also join the battle. But not before Arnop hasn't used his actions. We can't use Serial this turn. He has moved already, which is very, very unfortunate. I wish we could have used it, but we can't. So it's just Lightning Hands and basically one face off. That's the maximum damage we'll get out of him for this turn. Still good. Could have been better, but still good. Warnai is going to use Serial. Because you know what? I think we'll need some extra damage here. Good, let's not cluster up too much. That's why she's moving here. That's the mind-controlled Archon. We're definitely not going to kill that one. This is not a 100% kill. That's not a 100% kill. This is also not a 100% kill. Fuck. That's bad. The only 100% kill is basically the Archon. Okay, never mind. Let's go and see how many we can kill. First one down. That's good, Vornai. Keep it on, keep it on. Don't want to kill that Archon. This one here is out of killing range. This one here is barely in killing range. We would need maximum damage to kill this one. Which is fine though. Let's just try to continue. She's breaking all of the glass and maximum damage. You can definitely rely on Vornai. She's going to fuck them up really hard. So third shot. Some pretty good damage, but like I said, he was out of kill range. And now we need to see how to continue here. We don't want to move into this zone for obvious reasons, because next end of next turn it's gonna go to shit. This guy down here has no line of sight to anyone, so he will naturally attack this dude. Ancestral himself can kill this guy, can kill the Viper. And he has line of sight on this Gatekeeper, which is the most frightening part of the whole of his whole position. I don't want him to. No. I don't want him to be in line of sight of the Gatekeeper. The Gatekeeper should target something else. All right, let's start. Ancestral is going to mop up as many of them as he can. Shall we move anywhere closer? That's a good question. Like, we could move here, but these Vipers, no. Then he doesn't have high ground. He needs high ground. Moving here is not good, like I said before. We probably will fall back to here soon. So basically he's already in the best position for what I want to do with him. Let's start with the first shot, 100%. 100% shots cannot be dodged, so he's just going to use Death from Above here. He still has Implacable. Yet another shot for the Viper. Good job, man. He still has Death from Above, but I don't want to use it on the Gatekeeper because we want to control the Gatekeeper. So what we're instead going to do is we're going to move back to here. And that's about it. Now, with two mind-controlled enemies, there should be a high chance that they are going to be the major focus of the enemies. Yeah, Archons are missing one another. It's not a big news. That happens more often than not. One golf ball is looking after the other golf ball. That's fine as well. And the rest of the enemies didn't move a single bit. Well, that's interesting. That's interesting. Good. Now to the question of Smolche, who was just asking, what would I want to see as the next class? So here's the beauty and at the same time the problem. So in a sense, a double-edged sword where Phyrexis is currently in. Phyrexis has given the community the option to mod. And as such, the community has already started to create a lot of content. Most of the content is pretty good, in my opinion, and it's even sometimes on par with what Phyrexis is doing themselves. You probably have seen the first DLC, Anarchy Child, and the visual overhauls that the community has introduced are in minimum as good as the ones or some of them are in minimum as good as the ones from Anarchy Child. So the problem that Phyrexis is having here with their last class is, if they're just going to introduce mechs and say, yeah, surprise, surprise, it's Shen's last gift, no one would have ever guessed. what are they actually going to introduce? They're going to introduce a couple new skills. They are introducing maybe 1 or 2 new weapons, and that's about it. But if you look at the current classes that are available, many of these classes are actually already doing that. So Phyrexis would need to get some more mechanical upgrades, and I've spoken about that already in the forum. I would see that any sort of real new abilities, e.g., interacting more with the Avenger, like having a class that can get more reinforcements for intel on the fly, like your mission is going bad, and you can then just call for new backup, like 1 or 2 soldiers, but you will need to pay intel for that. That could be a mechanic which can be introduced. Another mechanic could be a class that is building turrets or structures on its own, like in Team Fortress 2, the Engineer, which is really a fun concept. And yeah, classes with these concepts would really widen the range a little bit. So Phyrexis definitely needs to step up their game, because elsewise the Anarchy Child DLC and the other DLCs will just be a good amusement, but not really worth their money. I hope that was answering the question. So now we are going to dominate the second golf ball. Yeah, let it happen, bro. Second mind control on another gatekeeper. Good lord, we have 2 gatekeepers, guys. That's actually pretty good. I like it. Implacable and death from above. That's beautiful, man. But there is no more positioning for you. Probably we will need to get you to here and then just start firing normally. %. That's fine for me. Yep, 1 shot, and please a second one. Good lord, pretty good hits. I like it. So we can hit all of these guys here pretty conveniently. So Arnop is gonna take Serial again. Oh yeah, let us please open the shell. Didn't cost us anything to do that. And here is a gateway. Let's just to soften them up, because I wanted them below 8 hit points. Arnob's weapon is dealing 8 to 10, and he can now pretty conveniently, with his serial ability, snipe all of them and kill them. So that's 1 down. That's 2 down. Oh man, Arnop, you are going to be a beast. At the end of this mission, I think you'll crack the near 300 mark with your abilities. Yeah, he just neutralized all of them. Good job, Arnop. I'm pretty proud of him. He really did well. Good, golf ball time soon. And maybe to finish the question about this enemy within, the option to have something like enemy within, I really think that if we would get a good expansion, that the game could benefit from it, because enemy within, in my opinion, did a lot of things right. It just added so much interesting content and concepts to XCOM 1. It really refreshed the whole scenario. So I honestly hope that they are going to do something similar and not just a little bit content which could be generated from the modding community just as well as they could. We don't want to get poison on one of our golf balls. They need to be fresh and not injured for the last mission. The difference between mind control and domination is that domination, the ability that we use, is only one time available per mission. You can fail and then it's gone, but the advantage is that you will keep whoever you have dominated, and there's no chance of them breaking free. So it's really a permanent add-on to our team. And 2 golf balls are better than 1 golf ball. Okay, hopefully this green gas will fade away soon. I think we're going to wait 2 more turns just to get everyone reloaded, and yeah, let's do that. We still have a couple of cooldowns of abilities which are on cooldown. I'm just checking that everyone's like reloaded. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so everyone's reloaded. We don't need Overwatch here because there's no further pack until the end of this mission. Two more turns and then we can go in. Or next turn we can already start to move there, I suppose. Now that's the part of the whole campaign which I was waiting for quite intensively, because I have no idea how it will play out with double enemy squad size. It can be quite annoying, I suppose. Ooh, Advent Stun Lances. A lot of Advent Stun Lances. Hello there, buddies. That's a surprise. I'm not going to say that it is a pleasant surprise, but it is definitely a surprise. Let's put it this way. I honestly wasn't expecting so many Stun Lances. So before we move up, let's just double check something here. Arnab? Yes. Of course, your serial ability is down. I just wanted to move after all of the cooldowns are back up. But yeah, that's what you get from not listening or not being stringent enough with what you wanted to do. Now we do have Stun Lancers there, and no one to take care about them. Good. Anyways, I mean, it's not a big deal. And I suppose there is even some positive, there are even some positive elements about it, because guess what? The Stun Lancers are the only ones so far that will make excellent candidates for zombies. You guys asked me for zombies, and boy oh boy, we are going to have some zombies, I think. Which is interesting because it means even more HP for our troops. Ready to snap, of course, doesn't have his Void Rift ready. Let's move him back here. I want to be out of range for them, so they will start engaging on us. And Lancer's got a lance, you know that. They will definitely start using their lances. And I don't have stabilization protocols, so we can't afford to lose anyone who's becoming unconscious. Even if the chance is relatively low, we don't want that to happen. So basically, we're staying out of range from them. And we are going to tank them with our gatekeepers here. Wow. Wow. How could I? Wow. Wow. That was stupid. I wanted to go on Overwatch, but instead I fucked this one up. %, and Arnob could basically kill this guy here, and I think we're going to go for that one. Oh, really? He dodged. Well, I guess it's Overwatch time then. No, I don't want to use any further abilities here. Let's just move the commander avatar a little bit further, closer to them. Don't want to use any other abilities. They are going to charge next to us, and I hope that Overwatch is going to take care about them. Yeah. Wow. Really? Wow. That was immensely lucky and unlucky at the same time. I didn't want to get into the position where they even have a chance to stun Lancers.